Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. Indigo Diamond here with another video here to talk about the grand finale of RuPaul's Drag Race UK Season 4. Before we get into that, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe to the channel and leave me a comment. Who would you like to see on Season 5? Because, you know, obviously they've probably already filmed it. Or they will be, it'll be happening at some point. As you can probably tell, I have a cold. I've been off work on holiday. I had annual leave since like Thursday, and I've had a really horrible cold since Thursday. Believe it or not, I'm actually much better than I was. I spent a couple of days more or less completely out of it. I still have a really horrible cough, but my sinuses are cleared up a bit. That's why I sound a bit funny. It's also why these videos are so late. Because I wanted to be better by the time I did the videos, but videos need to be done. I'm back at work tomorrow. It has to be done today, and yeah, I mean, I'm better than I was, so yeah, could be worse. I'm standing today. I've moved my room around a bit, so I actually have like this big open space now. In like the middle of the room that I can actually use for filming. I want to do some lip syncing and stuff in the future, but this camera is not going to be good for that because this camera, if I move too much, tends to defocus. So at some point I'll get I'll get a better camera when I have the money and we can start doing some varied videos. It's one of those things, is like I really want to do more on the channel. I want to do more singing videos, but I keep getting colds, which wreck my voice, which means I can't do any of the singing stuff because I can't practice my singing. So we'll get there eventually, hopefully. So bear with me. In the meantime, yeah, it's also why I'm not in drag again today, because I've just been feeling so rubbish, and with the coughing and that, I'm not going to be able to put makeup on. It'll look horrendous. Because I'll no doubt be trying to do eyeliner and then cough, and then it'll end up like through the ceiling or something. I don't know what I'm on about. Let's get into the video. So, the grand finale of RuPaul's Drag Race UK Season 4. Going into the finale, we had Black Peppa, Jonbers Blonde, Danny Beard, and Cheddar Gorgeous. Danny and Cheddar, for me, it was between those two anyway. I think as soon as the cast were announced, I felt like it's going to be one of those two, and they were kind of the two I was rooting for. It did come down to them in the end. It did come down to them in the end. But before we get to that, let's halt, go back to the start of the episode. So the Maxi Challenge for this week gets announced, and they are doing a room mega mix. Now, I suppose it's nice in a way because it means RuPaul doesn't have to worry about like having to create a new song for every season, or get someone to do that for her. You know, she can just get them to mash them together. So this time we had, oh god, Sissy That Walk, Kitty Girl, Call Me Mother, and The Realness. 4 very random songs, but I feel like they went quite well with the queens they got assigned to. So the queens had to write like their own original verse to go into the song. And then they had to do choreography. So let's see if I can remember what order they went in. This is probably going to be wrong, but we'll start off with, I know Black Peppa started it off. She had Sissy That Walk. Honestly, I think Black Peppa did a really good job. The thing is, Black Peppa very much, as soon as she knew what the challenge was, she was like, yes, I'm good at this. I can do this. And I feel like she gave off that energy throughout the episode. She gave off the energy of, yes, I know I can do this. This is what I do. And I appreciate that. It was lovely to see her finally like comfortable again in the challenge. I think the issue was, it was just a shame that she couldn't like almost go in with a positive attitude to like the comedy challenges and that. But again, it's something she'll work on, you know, I'm sure. And I'm sure we haven't seen the last of Black Peppa. I'm sure she'll come back again at some point, be it on the Versus the World Series, be it apologies, be it on a Versus the World Series, or maybe even the rumoured good UK All Stars, because there's a rumour about a UK All Stars. There's a rumour that 2 of the queens from the UK All Stars are going to be from season 4. So we will see. You know, obviously when they bring people back, they tend to bring back, like, it's from like a season that's just gone by. They'll get like maybe one that like made it to the finale, and then like a fan favorite or something like that. So I don't know, we'll see what happens. Did Sister That Walk, did a very good job of it. You know, the lip syncing was great, the verse was good. That went into, I believe, Cheddar Gorgeous doing the realness, which was nice. It very much slowed it down. And I do like the fact that they did that. The mega mix was kind of like peaks and valleys. You had like a fast song to a slow song to like quicker song to a still like upbeat but like slower upbeat song, which was nice. It wasn't all like on one level, or it didn't kind of like go up and just stay at a level and then go down at the end or something. It was well done, is what I'm trying to trying to put together into words. Yes, the Black Pepper did a good job. Went into Cheddar Gorgeous, who did the realness, who also again did a good job. Very cheddar style, you know, slow sensual movements, very sexy. But I enjoyed it. I thought it worked really well. Moving next into, I believe it was Danny Beard next doing Call Me Mother, which again was good. I am. When they announced the songs originally at the start, I was like, oh, Danny's got a challenge there. And then it was like, oh, but you're writing your own original verses to these songs. And I was like, okay. I was like, because as much as Call Me Mother's fast, I feel like a lot of the problem with Call Me Mother is all the lyrics that RuPaul's got in like the fast, in the small amount of space to do. So Danny writing their own lyrics, you know, as much as they still have to be fast with the beat, they don't have to necessarily write as many lyrics, which can make it easier, if that makes sense. It makes sense to me. So Danny did a good job, which was funny because they struggled a bit in rehearsals, but it's always that thing, you know, you get the queens that struggle in rehearsals, but they do really well in the end. So no, it was a good night for Danny in that. Going straight on to Jonbers Blonde, ending with Kitty Girl. Jonbers did a great job. I'm glad Jonbers is here, because I mean it was a mega mix with 4 songs, so they needed 4 people in the finale, so there was going to be a double save at one point. But I don't know, it felt good, because Jonbers has very much been on a journey. Like, they didn't start out very well, you know, they've been underestimated a lot, and it, you know, to kind of get to this point where it's like, yeah, you know, they're doing all right. They did fairly well in Snatch Game. They had the general erection roast, which was okay. It wasn't terrible. It wasn't the best, but it wasn't terrible. And I only say that because she was very funny, but not all of the funny, I feel like, was intentionally supposed to be funny. Some of it was like falling on crutches, which is when I'm drunk. I really enjoyed it, so you know, I'm glad she was safe for that episode. I thought it was very well deserved. But she has grown a lot in this competition. I feel like, again, Jonbers is one of those people. I feel like if they carry on with the work and they could come back for a Versus the World and All-Star season, I think they would really do well. And I personally would love to see that, because I've really grown to love Jonbers throughout the season. I wasn't sure of them in the beginning, and I think it's because I didn't really feel like I really knew who they were as a person. And then as we've kind of like gone on, I'm like, okay, you're kooky. And I like kooky people. Kooky people are great. Kooky people keep things interesting, and that is what we want in life, you know. If you don't have kooky people around you, everything's boring, and we don't want that. Many people would say I'm a kooky person. I don't know. I don't tend to go around asking people how they feel about me, if I'm honest. Never want to. You never know what they're going to say, so I was like, no, we'll avoid that question. But no, I've really grown to love Jonbers, so I think future season, if she wanted to come back and got invited, I think it would be great to see her again. I definitely wouldn't complain. So we have the final challenge, we have the final critiques. Runway theme is essentially finale look. Cheddar's was my favourite. I wasn't a big fan of the rest of them. I mean, Danny's was okay. I don't know if it was the camera angles or not, but the gold like wings just looked like they weren't symmetrical with each other, which bugged me. And I don't know, it wasn't my favourite. Cheddar's was my favourite. The other three were a bit kind of like, oh, okay. They told Jonbers it was the most beautiful they'd ever seen her, and I was sat there, was like, did we forget like a couple of episodes? Was it like a couple of, what was it, like last episode, where she had like the big hat and the big like poofy like coat thing? Her makeup, I swear, was the most beautiful there. Like, to me, like, not saying she wasn't beautiful in this episode, but that makeup there was just absolutely stunning. She was amazing. So, what was that last episode? No, it wasn't last episode, was it? It was probably the episode before that. I don't know, something like that. I look skinnier if I do that. I don't think so. I don't know. It was just one of those weird things. Anyway, so Cheddar had my favourite look. We had the critiques. I also like the fact that the eliminated queens made an appearance in the like music video thing. I'm sad Baby's not been any of the things where they've come back, but I think it's because Baby left. Like, she was like, I'm leaving the competition, and I think she literally just went. So it's a shame, but I understand why she's not on there, because obviously if she's like, I need to go because of my mental health, and like go. It makes sense, but I would have loved to have just seen her there, even just so she could show up in like a finale look and be like, look. But I love the fact that they were incorporated into the music video. I love it when they bring the queens back to even just like do something like that, and they've done that a couple of times, because they were obviously there for the roast challenge, and then they got to appear here, and then they all went in and saw the queens in the workroom as well, which was nice. Out of the eliminated queens, my favourite look was probably Starlet. No surprise, Starlet's great with looks, and you know, from like the interviews with like Why Is She and stuff like that, and from what the other queens have said, she is really kooky. It's a shame we didn't get to see that, you know, with her actually on the season, but you know, it's one of those things. Go see her when she's on tour or performing. Hopefully maybe she'll come back in the future and that will show. Got a cough again. I'm trying to keep my coughing really silent, because that's going to pick it up otherwise, my microphone. So yeah, Starlet had probably my favourite. I think Pixie and LaFille were like very close behind. They both had great looks as well. Bring all the queens back out, and it's announced that the top two are Cheddar and Danny, and they have to lip sync to This Is My Life by Shirley Bassey. Really good song. Definitely, I feel like a good like finale song. I really wanted Cheddar to win, and I will flat out say here, I was really sad that she didn't win, but I feel like this is my bias. This is like me just being like, she was like my winner. She was the one I wanted to win. But I do feel like rewatching it again, I think Danny was just slightly better in the lip sync. I feel like Danny was slightly more theatrical with like the movements and like the mouth movements and everything. Cheddar was a bit more subdued with the mouth movements, and you know, with like some of the lines and that in the song, like I feel like you needed like a big grand gesture with like a big grand mouth gesture as well, and I feel like Danny really delivered that in a way that Cheddar just didn't quite. So I mean, at the end of the day, these were the two that I was like, they're going to make it to the end. Personally, I really wanted Cheddar to win. I'm not mad that Danny won. Danny has done a fantastic job all season and is a very deserving winner. It's not like they haven't put the work in. They won 4 badges. They made it to the finale, and they did a great job in the finale as well. You know, so congratulations, Danny Beard, our first bearded winner. Did that for some strange reason, maybe because I've got a beard at the moment. You know, and Cheddar still did a fantastic job all season. Cheddar's still going to be Cheddar Gorgeous after this, and you know, as she said when talking to Rue and Michelle, you know, win or lose, I'm still going to do what I'm going to do. So, you know, it is what it is. But we have our 4 winners, and the other 3 winners did come back this season, which was nice. I would like to see them do this more, even if they just bring back the last winner to help crown the new winner, because they do that in like Canada, and in Canada they don't do like a big grand finale like they do in America. But I just feel like it's, I don't know, it's just nice to have that almost like handing over of the title moment. And as much as, you know, Rue crowns a new queen, it's like, I don't know, it just doesn't feel as impactful as if you, and it'd just be nice to have the last winner come back and be like, oh yes, look at me now. I will say before we close this off, one big shout out to Lawrence Chaney, who did give some really, really fantastic advice for the top 4, about, you know, never disrespect your fans, make sure you're aware of how you're talking to them, because, you know, they're the ones that pay your rent, you know, never dismiss them essentially or treat them badly, because at the end of the day, they're paying to see you because they like you, they like what you do. And I feel like that's a very important message to not just these queens, but anyone who has a job that has fans and stuff like that. It's like, you know, you've got to be thoughtful about how you're treating your fans, you know, because if you treat them badly, they will eventually just stop liking you, they'll stop buying your stuff, showing up to shows and stuff like that. And then where are you going to be at that point? Because, you know, if people aren't showing up to see you, people aren't going to book you for things. So, I don't know. I just thought it was very good. That's going to be all for this video. Make sure you leave a comment down below. Who would you like to see on Series 5? Is there anyone that enters your head that you go, oh, they've not been on yet, but I would love to see them on? Also, who would you like to see on UK All-Stars? For me, Davina De Campo is number 1. I want to see Davina back on Drag Race, because Davina is one of those queens. There's lots of them, but Davina is one of those queens that I feel like deserves a crown. That, and she makes great TV. Everyone wants to see Davina back on TV. But yeah, leave me a comment down below. Who would you like to see on Season 5? Is there anyone you would like to see on a potential UK All-Stars? I remember seeing a comment on another video that I was watching. I can't remember what video it was. And someone was like, oh, I'd love to see them put Lady Camden in a UK All-Stars just for the, like, giggles. And I was like, that would be hilarious. Could you imagine? Because, I mean, she is a Ru girl. She is technically like an American Ru girl, but she is English. You know, she's British, so... But yeah, leave me a comment down below while you're down there. Make sure you hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and I will see you lovely people next time, and hopefully I'm not coughing and spluttering. See ya!